First thing to note, this is actually alarming. You know, 50% of the whole community around the world is having the hypertension. 50%. Is it clear? And out of those 50%, they are diagnosed hypertension. This is the whole community. As 100% out of this, only 50%, I mean 50% are hypertensive subjects, and out of these 50% are diagnosed cases of the hypertension. They are diagnosed. Out of those 50% diagnosed hypertensive patients, only 50% get diagnosed and treated. But again, out of this 50% of treated patient, only 50% are those which are adequately treated, means their treatment is going well up to the mark. So you can see we all are at the rate of that we are getting hypertension soon or later, whatever in the early stage of the life or later stages of the life. But the thing that is being alarming, that very less percent of the ratio that actually are getting the well treatment for the hypertension. Rest others, some don't know about the hypertension, some are diagnosed but they don't care, some are diagnosed but treated, but that treatment is not up to the mark, and only a minimum amount percentage of the patients who are adequately treated. This is a public health concern. I'm not saying this is a disease actually, because normal blood pressure is physiologically required for the body, for the vital organs like heart, kidney, and various other organs. But when it becomes health concern, when the blood pressure that is actually required become more than we actually needed. So it probability of the heart attack, stroke, and the kidney disease increases because of this hypertension. So hypertension is as such a etiology of all these factors. Hypertension is identified as the world's most prevalent preventable disease in WHO's Health 2020 policy. That is important, preventable disease in which we will work. And it is in the WHO's Health 2020 policy. Unless WHO was unaware of the coronavirus, they were busy in making this statement. So let's go ahead. Definition. Everybody know that what is blood pressure? That is the pressure exerted by the blood against the walls of the blood vessels when it circulates in the body. That is okay. So when among many laymen, they call it like isko blood pressure hai. Even many of the medicos said isko blood pressure hai. अरे blood pressure सबको है. That is the normal blood pressure. That is actually required. That is required for the vital organs. But what is the definition of blood pressure? Blood pressure in broader term, if we say blood pressure means when the systolic pressure that goes above 140 and diastolic goes above 90. That is a broader term. But if we look into the subtypes of this, we say what is a normal blood pressure. We all know that is less than 120 systolic and less than 80 diastolic. And there is a one term that is a pre-hypertension. Pre-hypertension is a condition there the blood pressure of systolic is 120 to 139 and or that is diastolic is 80 to 89. Why I am saying this and or that is important because we all are dealing the patients, right? So we are dealing the patients, and some patients came to an OPD and we came to notice that their systolic blood pressure is 124. That is perfectly okay, fine. But their diastolic is 90 plus, means 96. So what would be the classification of that hypertension? That will always be the higher aspect. It means that is a stage 1 type of the hypertension. That is why I have said here is a and or. It means that if the patient having the normal systolic pressure but diastolic is raised, that is in the stage 1 or the stage 2, that patient would be categorized in the stage 1 or the stage 2. That is important. Now the stage 1, that is the ratio 140 to 160 and 90 to 99 diastolic, and stage 2 actually greater than 160 and greater than 100, actually when the treatment is must. But in the conditions like pre-hypertension and the stage 1, monitoring of the blood pressure regularly is important, investigations are important, and 20 to 30 patients got treated with the help of the diet and lifestyle modification. That is important to know. There are some other terms also you may have heard, that is a white coat hypertension. सफेद कोट से सबको डर लगता है, especially that cause a disease that is a hypertension. Yes, the patient at home feels perfectly okay, their blood pressure is normal, but once they visit an OPD or the clinic, their blood pressure is raised. So what is the parameter to measure that he has in the white coat hypertension? The best thing to do is 24 hours ambulatory BP checkup. That is, we need continuous checking of that BP of in 22 hours. That is important. Another term that you should know, that is a pseudo hypertension, that is isometric systemic hypertension. There are cases, as I told, whatever systolic is above 160 but diastolic is less than 80 or normal, perfectly okay, that condition is isometric systemic systolic hypertension. That is very common identity find in the pregnancy, because pregnancy में काफी physiological changes होते हैं and blood pressure is the common manifestation. And in elderly patient especially, the reason is arteriosclerosis. Yes, in above 60 years patient, most of us, when we check the BP, we come to know that the systolic is raised, that is greater than 160, but diastolic is below 80, that is normal. So that condition is actually the isometric systolic hypertension. Again, that will be called as a hypertension because I said the raised parameter will be considered. And in the hyperthyroidism condition, these are certain conditions where you should know that the hypertension occur. If I talk about causes, you will surprised to know that 94.5% of the cases are primary idiopathic, no cause is known. And only 5% are there with the secondary hypertension, that is, there is some causes. What important in this slide is that the years. When the patient above the age 25 years and 55 years, below 55 years, came to OPD and got diagnosed first time hypertensive, that is mostly the case of idiopathic, that is 95% fall in that category. Whereas if the patient below years of 25 and above 55, that hypertension probably because of some of the causes. Most commonly are the renal causes, endocrinal drugs, and the miscellaneous. Renal causes may be renal, chronic renal failure, and the carcinomas are important. Endocrinal may Cushing syndrome is there, acromegaly can be there, or certain hormone imbalances may be there. Drugs may, the regular use of the corticosteroids and the regular use of the corticosteroids and NSAIDs would regularly took them, and miscellaneous causes may pregnancy is the cause. So you can see only 5% are the secondary, but other risk factors. Two factors are there. As I said, known modifiable risk factors means these are the factors which we cannot change. Okay, like age, sex, genetic factors, ethnicity. Age, as I said, this is more common above 50 years of the patient, in the elder stages, or I have already said age is a factor. Sex is again the factor because males got more chances of this rather than the female. Genetic factors, yes, definitely. The parents, if having the hypertension, the chances of progeny to have hypertension will be more. Ethnicity is again important because in some of the races like Africa, it is being said it is being seen that hypertension is a common finding, but that is a very less of the percentage. As I already told you that 50% of the world population is already having the hypertension, so that doesn't count. Some are the modifiable risk factors. These are the things which we need to control, like obesity, diet, alcohol, tobacco, physical activity, stress, socio-economic status. This is the most common causes that actually happening nowadays, the cause of the hypertension. We can modify them with the lifestyle, diet, and certain treatments that we provide. If we see the symptoms, mostly it is an asymptomatic kind of the treatment. That is why it is known as a silent killer, because most of the time we don't know it's going on in the body. But some of the patients feel the symptoms like headache, shortness of the breath, dizziness, chest pain, palpitation, and the nosebleed. So it is very common. Why investigation is important? To rule out that 5% of the cases of the secondary hypertension. As I said, 95% are without cause, but to rule that 5%, we need to go for the investigation, and these are the important investigation, very common investigation. Common blood count, urine, routine and microscopic to know any renal entity. Fasting blood sugar is important. fasting blood sugar means diabetes is not the cause of hypertension, but in most of the cases diabetes and hypertension go together. So it is important to go for the FBS. Lipid profile is important: blood urea, serum creatine, serum electrolytes like sodium, potassium, calcium. Ultrasonography is important to see the well state of the kidneys, chest x-ray, and ultimate the ECG. These are the very common investigations that we do on the regular basis. These are certain medicines that modern treatment occur. That's a simple rule: A, B, C, D. I'm not going into deep into this pathophysiology and pharmacology of these medicines because I have something else to talk about today. That is the Ayurvedic management. But just, yeah, students, you should know ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, diuretics, alpha 1 blockers, angiotensin A2 antagonists. They are the some medicines that many of the people are taking irresponsibly, I can say. Now I will deal here the Ayurvedic perspective. As Sir has already told that there is no any clear-cut pronunciation of the disease hypertension in our text. It is not the thing that disease was not known to our acharyas, because we can see that there are references of diseases like Hriday Rog, Mutra Vikar, Pakshaghat, which if we see from today's point of view, these are the complications of the hypertension. Okay, so how come it is possible that acharyas have mentioned the complications like Hriday Rog, Mutra Vikar, Pakshaghat, but not the disease? So in this way, we can say that this disease was known to our acharyas, but they have not written in a broader way, I say, because as I told earlier, this is so common. This is a cause of many of the diseases. Okay, so so there is a term called the Anukta Vyadhi. What is Anukta Vyadhis? In Acharya Charak in Sutrasthan have told that it is okay that we cannot have all the diseases mentioned in the text. Neither it is possible or necessary to identify the disease, but Ayurvedic physician should use the yukti. Yukti mean his own sense to attempt to construct the samprapti on the basis of the dosh, lakshan, acuteness, chronicity, complications, and plan the management accordingly. So this is very important. Hypertension comes in a anukta vyadhi. Anukta vyadhi means the pronunciation of the disease is not mentioned in the text, but because we are physician, we can use our yukti, we can identify the dosh involved, we can identify the dusha involved, we can identify the various other factors, and ultimately we can treat the patient. So that is important. And it is a Raktaj Vyadhi. Raktaj Vyadhi, as cleared from the definition of the hypertension, is the pressure of the blood against the walls of the vessels. That is why the blood is flowing. So that is why it is a Raktaj Vyadhi. If we look the diseases of the Rakta Dushti in the Samhita, we will come to know there are many diseases of the Rakta Dushti. Most commonly like Rakta Pitta, Rakta Prada, Rakta Mehe, Vata, Rakta Mukhapat, Akshirog, Utigraha, Utkush. But I have highlighted some of the symptoms. They are found predominantly in the hypertension. Like you can see, Rakta Pitta, Shiroruk, Klam. Shiroruk is headache. Klam is exertion, physical and the mental exertion. Anidra is insomnia. Brahm is confusion state. Buddhi Samo is intellectual activity become less. And pump is a tremor. These are certain common findings of a hypertension, and these are mentioned in the diseases of the Rakta Dushti. Murcha Sannyas, I can say this is the complications of this Rakta Dushti. When Rakta Dosh get more vitiated in the body, there comes these serious ailments like Mad, Murcha, and Sannyas. And Sannyas is coma stage. So things have been written in the Samhita, but that is different thing that they have not particularly mentioned a disease that is the hypertension. If we talk about the etiology, the most common etiology, as I said, is the Rakta Vikar, Madhyapan, Namak, that is salt intake, sedentary lifestyle, I again said, repeat, like in the diabetes, Ati Snigdha Madhur Diva Swapnam. Mental stress, Kama Krodh Shok, physical strain, that is Shram, Seasonal variations. Yes, this is a very important because like in a Sharad Ritu, what happened in the Sharad Ritu? In our body, the Pitta dosh and the Rakta dhatu naturally get vitiated in the Sharad dhatu. Some of the patients, particularly in that season, feel like they are burning and their blood pressure may shoot up. That is a seasonal variation because of they are already having the Pitta Prakriti and they are not following the proper Dincharya and the Ritucharya and they got stuck into the disease that is a hypertension because of Rakta Dushti and the Pitta Dushti. Next important etiology in Ayurveda is told that is a Nidan Arthakar Rog. What is this? Nidan Arthakar Rog means one disease is a cause of another disease. Like one disease, this is a very common finding in the hypertension. As you can see, hypertension is the cause of diabetes. Diabetes is the cause of hypertension. Hypertension and diabetes are the cause of cardiovascular diseases, renal failure. So these all are the Nidan Arthakar Rogas, which is a term that is given in the text for diseases like this. Now, important aspect, we have to understand the regulation and the pathophysiology of blood pressure according to Ayurveda. You see, Vata, Pitta and the Kapha, these three main the doshas. Doshas when they are dushit, but in normal avastha, they actually are vital parts. They help in a functioning of this body. So variety of the vayus, five kind of the vayu, five kind of the pitta, five kind of the kapha that are being mentioned in our sanhitas. But in heart particularly, why I am telling the heart? Because you all know the contractibility, myocardium contractibility leads to the cardiac output and the pressure and the stroke volume. This heart is the responsible for maintaining the blood pressure. So if I talk about the physiology of the heart, the main vayu responsible in the functioning of the heart, that bringing the oxygen in the heart, that is the prana vayu. Vyan vayu. Vyan vayu, as you know, it is found in all of the body. It circulates in all the body and it is responsible for the circulation of the ras and the rakta dhatu. Sadhak pit, it's a kind of the pit that actually helps in the metabolism of the heart muscles. So whatever metabolism that is taking place in the heart, that is by the sadhak pitta. Cough, the kind of the cough that is present in the heart is the ablambak cough. What ablanga cough in natural means that promotes the myocardium contractibility. It means this is the force behind this contracture. So cough is very much important factor for creating the good contracture that actually pump out the blood from the heart and hence way the blood circulates in the body. So here you can see three important parameters, vayu, pitta and the kapha. Matlab vat, pitta, kapha, they are actually present in the heart for the regular monitoring of this heart. Third thing is that here is the ras and the rakt. Once after the pumping out of the blood, that is the rakt. The rakt don't go into the body. It's because of the Vyan Vayu that it is going towards the whole the body. But ras is always associated with the rakt. Because ras, what is ras actually? What do we mean with the ras? Ras is the plasma. Ras is all the media that actually where all the RBCs, WBCs, platelets, and all the nutrients that carry. So ras is the circulatory media where Rakta Dhatu resides, but with the help of the Vyan Vayu, they goes towards the whole the body. So that is the basic physiology and the regulation of the blood pressure if we understand from the Ayurvedic perspective. How it become the pathophysiology, this is also we need to understand. Like I said in the etiology, Ati Lavan Sevan, alcohol, Snigdha Bhojan. So these kind of etiological factors actually vitiate what? Rakt. जब भी हम अल्कोहल लेते हैं, क्योंकि अल्कोहल है, नमक है, तीक्ष्ण चीजें हैं, ये सब चीजें उष्ण वीर्य की होती हैं, गर्म होती हैं, तो अल्टीमेटली दे विशिएट द रक्त धातु. बट रक्त इज अ धातु. धातु नेवर विल विशिएट दोष. ओके, दोष will vitiate the dushya, but dushya will never vitiate the dosha. That is common. So how this is vitiating? Rakt and Pit, they have the common similarities. If we see the constitution of the Pitta and the Rakta, we'll come to know that They have the common property of Ushnatva and Dravatva. So Dravatva and Ushnatva is the common finding that is shared by the Pitta and the Rakta. So if Rakta Dhatu get vitiated, Pitta will definitely will affect it. That means the vitiation of the Pitta Dhatu will occur. And because of the etiological factors like sedentary lifestyle, taking more fat things, no exercising, poor lifestyle disorder, what happened? Cough increases, vitiation of the cough increases. And if the cough get vitiated, what happened? The myocardial contractibility will get hampered. It will be alterating. It will be more because once the cough will be in avrodhak avastha, vayu and pitta will be increasing. And because of some degenerative factors like old age is a common factor where arteries get weakened, that is a senile atherosclerosis. Stress like condition, physical exertion like condition, the vayu will get affected. Which vayu? Obviously the prana vayu first. The prana vayu carrying the oxygen, that is the prana of the body. So that hampered this nutrient supply to the heart. Ultimately, when all these things get affected, there is a force. Heart has to pump more blood because the proper functioning of these doshas are not working. This is where Ablamba curve induces the exaggerated contractibility of the heart, while the Vyan Vayu leads increasing the speed, and the ejection force is more that is coming out of the Hridaya. This is why the increased blood pressure against the walls of the blood vessel, sorry. So this is the basic regulation of the blood pressure and the pathophysiology. All we can remember at last is that Vayu, Vata, Pitta and Kapha, Tridoshaj Vyadhi is responsible for the vitiation of the doshas, and Ras and the Rakta Dhatus are mainly important. Now the important part that I will be dealing here is a Chikitsa. Before Chikitsa, one thing we take in our OPD in the IPD basis is the history taking. What is history taking? History taking, obviously everybody may know that we take a detail of the history of the present illness, some other factors also. I would like to mention here one is the Prakriti Pariksha. Prakriti Pariksha is very important aspect from the Ayurvedic point of view, and most of us we forget while sitting in the OPDs or even the IPDs while prescribing any kind of the medicine. Why Prakriti Pariksha? Prakriti, as we know, there are 7 kind of the Prakritis, and we all are having particular Prakriti, like Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Dwandaj and Tridoshaj. Everybody having specific, and this is by birth, means it's a genetic composition that we cannot change. If person is Vataj, he's talking more, that is his basic nature becomes, that basic nature is actually nothing but it is a Prakriti. Okay, that is why Prakriti I'm talking about, because it can be related with the genome theory, and there are many researches that are going between in India itself, and one MOU was signed last year between the government of India and the some German university for the study of the IU genomics, and the Prakriti was the base behind it. So Prakriti is important because, as I tell, 50% of the population that is suffering from the hypertension, and early screening of the patient is very important. If we screen the patient and we came to know about his Prakriti, what we can do? We can alter, we cannot change the Prakriti, but we can alter the lifestyle, we can alter the diet, which the Prakriti will be somehow controlled, or whatever the disease is related to that Prakriti will somehow will be controlled. Like I said, the Pittaj Prakriti person will having more Pittaj disorders and Rakta disorders in the Sharad Ritu. If the person know himself is a Pittaj, he will take extra care in that particular Ritu. That is why the Prakriti is important as far as the Chikitsa is concerned. So I would advise you to go for this Prakriti Pariksha before going for the Chikitsa. Next important thing, as I know, this is the fundamental concept of the Chikitsa of Ayurveda, that is a Nidan Parivarjan. Etiological factors are to be avoided. If you come to know about that patient is not living well, is there some problem, you need to correct it at once. Prevention is better than cure. That is actually the funda of various lifestyle disorders like diabetes, I said, like hypertension, I'm saying. What is the primary prevention? Primary prevention, that is the lifestyle modification. As I said, in pre-hypertensive condition, stage 1 conditions, even the stage 2 condition, they can be well controlled with the help of the diet and the lifestyle modification if screened well before and cared. A patient is much aware. This again awareness from the patient as well. Secondary prevention, we will be talking about the treatment. This is sorry, what is DASH? The National Heart, Lung and Blood Institute, NHLBI. It has proposed one, you can say, the perfect meal for these conditions, like dietary approach to stop hypertension, that is a DASH. What is this? This is nothing but it is a balanced or complete diet to the patient. One thing is sure, that is low in the saturated fat, cholesterol, and the total fat, that we need to control because hyperlipidemia is one of the causes for this hypertension. We need to focus on fruits, vegetables, fat-free or low-fat dairy products. This is again important. Ultimately, diet playing important role. Rich in whole grams. Whole grams is again a great concept because people were stuck to the one grain in a day that was now not important. Nowadays whole grain concept is new, and fish, poultry, beans, seeds and the nuts, they are the great source to provide good amount of the cholesterol. It contains fewer sweets, added sugar beverages and the red meat. So this is actually nothing but a balanced diet. We need to look and take care of it. That is important. That is the lifestyle modification to manage hypertension. First and the prior most lifestyle modification we have to do in the patient of the hypertension is the weight reduction, as it was in the diabetes. For this, BMI you need to consider. Again, I repeat, the BMI is weight upon height in meter square, and it has to be in between 18 to 25. That is okay. If 25, that is overweight, and above 30, it is obese. So maintaining a normal body weight is important. I'm not telling you to get lean and thin, because below 13 BMI for the male and below 11 BMI for the female is again fatal. So maintaining a normal body weight for regulation of the good system in your body, that is important. What actually weight reduction do? It is being researched and it is well fact that if person is obese and is loses 10 kg weight loss, there will be reduction of the 5 to 20 mmHg in the mercury. That is important. That is how the weight reduction is the important key. First thing to do in the lifestyle modification. Number two, as I tell earlier, adopt the DASH eating plan. We have to consume fruits, vegetables, whole grains, reduce the fat content and total fat. That again is important, because by doing this, we are reducing the mercury level to 8 to 14 mm. That is important. Again, the dietary sodium reduction is very important. It is advised to take only 5 gram, that is 5 to 6 gram of sodium chloride, that is only 1 spoon of salt in a meal per day for a healthy individual, not more than that. And no sprinkling of the table salt over any food, fruits and the salad. That is again important, because that cause more sodium absorption in the body. Number third is that there is a salt called Sandha Lavan. Sandha Lavan is prescribed in the Ayurvedic text, and above 35 years of the age, it is advised to switch over to that Sandha Lavan. Why? Because it obviously having the sodium to hai hi, sodium to utna hi lena hai, but add-on effect is that it having the potassium also. Potassium is helpful in controlling the blood pressure. So by controlling our dietary sodium reduction, we are approximately reducing 2 to 8 mmHg. Fourth important thing is a physical activity. That is again important. We have to engage in a regular physical activity, especially in the lockdown period. That is what I was saying, that these are the disease of lockdown period, because we are physically less active. We have brisk walking is important for at least 30 minutes per day, and at least 5 days of the week. What it is doing, reducing the mercury level 4 to 9. Next is a अल्कोहल कंजप्शन. मैंने कल भी बताया था कि डायबिटीज़ में जो हाई ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स वाले फूड प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, सबसे हाईएस्ट ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स है ग्लूकोज का, दैट इज़ 100, and they get absorbed quickly in the stomach. Likewise, water and alcohol. These again are the two food products which get absorbed in the stomach quickly. But water is not harmful because water contains no calories. Whereas the 1 gram of 1 ml of the alcohol produces the 7 kilocalories. So that, and again, I'm saying alcohol is absorbed well. So coming in the plasma level, increasing the blood pressure again abruptly. So it is advised no more than 2 drinks per day in most men. If someone is alcoholic, has to cut off the alcohol in a very sequel manner, not abruptly. And no more 1 drink per day in a woman and lighter weight persons. If by doing so, even I have mentioned some of the famous alcohol that are being used and how much they have to be used: beer, wine, whiskey. And by doing so, there's a reduction of 2 to 4 mercury levels, mm of the mercury levels. That is very, you can say, irony that WHO itself admit that 80% of the world population is taking traditional medicines and 60% of the Indians are taking medicine. But the irony is that WHO still think it is not a science. It is a mockery. So now come the management principle, right? As I told that it is a Raktaj kind of the Vyadhi, and Raktaj kind of Vyadhi की जो treatment संहिताओं में बताई है, they comes in a 4 step. First is a Rakt Pit Har Chikitsa and the Ahar. Second is a Virechan. Third is a Upvas. Next is a Shonit Shravanam, that is a Rakt Mokshan. First, if I talk about Rakt Pit, it is clear from the previous slides that it is a Raktagat Dhatu and it will definitely vitiate the Pitta. And we have to follow the Chikitsa of the Rakt Pit that is mentioned in the Chikitsa Sthan, where most of the drugs that we have used are Sheath, Virya, Kashaya Raspardhana, and Sanshaman kind of the treatment. Number 2 important thing is a Virechan. Virechan is best modality for Raktaj and the Pittaj conditions. So that is important here. But pre-hypertensive and the stage 1 hypertensive, we can give the Virechan, that is a strong Virechan. But in the stage 2 and above that, Mridu Virechan is advised. Upvas. What Upvas has to do with this Raktapit? You know, as I told that not only the Rakt Dhatu, but Ras Dhatu is also involved in the pathophysiology of the blood pressure. So रक्त धातु की ट्रीटमेंट में उपवास फर्स्ट नंबर पे आता है. तो रस धातु को समझने का थोड़ा सा आप कोशिश करो. उसकी मेन ले ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट है लंघन, दैट इज अ उपवास. व्हाई? रस कंट्रोल द अग्नि इन द बॉडी. द फर्स्ट थिंग व्हेन वी टेक द आहार, जब भी हम आहार लेते हैं, the first thing that acts, that is a jathar agni to that ahar, and that further goes to various agnis. So one need to understand the agni before treating the patient. What is agni? Agni is not only related to your digestive power. There are so many kind of the agnis in the body. There are panch bhautik agni, there are 13 different kind of the agni, there are dhatva agnis, there is one jathar agnis. So jathar agni, if we understand from the broader aspect, it is actually doing the metabolic processes in all over the body at cellular level. Okay, so as I told that ras along with the rakt moves, circulates in all the body, and upvas will help to pacify that rasadusti, and upvas is the main way of treatment, particularly in the obese persons. Okay, so upvas is again important, langhan is important. Fourth is a shonit shravanam, that is a rakt mokshan. So ultimate choice of the treatment we have is a Rakt Mokshan, because in Sahitas also it is being said, when all the treatment modalities failed, one should blindly go for the Rakt Mokshan. Rakt Mokshan not only treat the diseases of the Rakt, even Pitta, but also of the Vat and the Kaph Ajanya Vyadhis. So there is a separate chapter of this Rakt Mokshan in the Shushrut Samhita, where variety of the modalities are being used like Prachan, Siraved, Jaloka, Shring, Alabu. I would focus here on the Jaloka because while Jaloka itself is used for the increased pitta in the body. When there is increased pith related condition in the Rakta Dushti, Jaloka is widely used. So, this is again a broad topic, but you should understand the Rakta Mokshan is the mainstay of the treatment, is the principal treatment for the Raktaj Vyadhis and for the hypertension also. But you need to consider many factors before going for the Rakta Mokshan, like you have to go for the investigations for BT, for the CT, and other aspect also you need to see. You cannot expel the blood before doing this, before the consent of the patient. These are certain rules, ethical rules. So how much they have told in the Samhita that this much amount of the blood is okay if we expel out. So that is perfectly in the healthy, or you can say in the pre-hypertensive condition. But once the patient is senile or old aged, this much amount of the blood would definitely hamper his other physiological conditions, or so it is advised to get half, इससे आधा आप blood निकाल लीजिए या उससे भी आधा निकाल लीजिए. So it depends all on the yukti of the Vaidya, how they do the Rakta Mokshan. Next important thing is the Shodhan treatment. As the sir already tell that Shodhan is always having the upper hand in the management in the Ayurveda than the Shaman Chikitsa. Shodhan here means the Panchkarma. That is very famous nowadays. But as I told, Vat, Pitta and the Kapha, three dosh are being um, involved in this hypertension. So what if the Vat Pradhan Vat Vitakkar means the condition here is related to senile condition, stress related condition, physical exertion type of the condition, if patient is having hypertension. These are the Panchkaram modalities that we can do in the patient, like Murdhatal. Murdhatal is a broad concept. It is again of the four types like Murdha, Abhyang, Sirka Abhyang, Sirka Dhara, Shir Pichu, या फिर Shirovasti. These are certain types which we can perform in this kind of the condition that will definitely relieve the relax. Abhyang is again important. Abhyang in the Vat affected hypertension with the Kshir Bala Tel or Bala Ashwagandha Tel. That is again important for increasing the, for regulation the blood circulation in the body. There are vastis, various kind of the vastis uh, being mentioned in the Samhitas. But one thing we need to know that we add lavan in the vastis. So we have to cut down that lavan in vastis while treating the patient of the hypertension. Again, we can perform the nasya with oil and the grit, that is medicated, or plain go grit we can use. Next, Shodhan, that is a Pitta Pradhan Vat Pitta. If Pitta related Vat Pitta is there, meaning the condition related to the alcohol, condition relating to any metabolic defect, condition related to any hepatic disorders or certain other defects, we will go for the Virechan, Rakta Mokshan, Kshiravasti and the Panchatikta Kshiravasti. Virechan, again, Rakta Mokshan, as I told earlier, it's the best form of the treatment for the Pittash, but we can also do the Vasti in Pitta-like condition like Kshiravasti where milk is being added, and Panchatikta Kshiravasti where Tikta Aushadhis are being added which pacify the Pitta conditions. Next is a Kapha Pradhan Vata Pitta. If cough is being aggravated and due to the cough like atherosclerosis, high fat in diet, obesity like conditions, what we go for is a Vaman, Virechan and the Lekhan Vastis. Vaman is important for the cough shaman. This is the best mode of Panchkaram we have, but Virechan also plays role in that, which Virechan is the best Pitta Kapha Shamak modality. Again, the Lekhan Vasti. Lekhan Vasti is specially prescribed in treating the obesity. So as I told, if obesity is related to hypertension, we can prescribe the Lekhan Vasti, but in Vasti, we need to take care of the quantity of the lavan. So this is the kind of the drugs that I personally use in my OPD treatment while maintaining a treatment, while prescribing the treatment. This is what we take care of. First thing is the Aam Pachak. As in the Samhita, this is being told, सभी प्रकार के रोग मंद अग्नि से होते हैं. रोगा सर्वे पे जाते मंद अग्नि शेष्यते. तो मंद अग्नि is the main cause, no matter whichever disease is. We need to take care of the Agni. So Agni, again I am repeating, is not only related to digestive power, but all over the body, wherever the cellular level of metabolism is taking place, Agni playing the role. And for this, Ras Dhatu, as I said, is related to that Mand Agni. We need to take care of that. So before prescribing any Shodhan, any Shaman, we have to give the Pachan drugs. What are those Pachan drugs we can give in the hypertension? Because in hypertension, we cannot give any Pachan with the Lavan. So Trikatu Churan and the Panchakol Churan, this is advisable. Next, we have to take care of the Vat. As I told, Vyan Vayu is in the full mode in this hypertension and flushing out the blood with a great force. So Vyan Vayu is responsible, and Vat Anuloman is important aspect. But one best drug we have here is the Haritiki Churan. Haritiki Churan we can give on the daily basis like 5 gram with the lukewarm water, while at night or early morning we can also give, or we can give the Trifla Churan also. Pitta Rechak, as I said, Pitta is automatically increases in the hypertension like condition. But Rechak, matlab, to expel that the Pitta is important. And for this, be practically using this. Amaltas beej malcha. You might have known the amaltas, fruit होता है उसका बीज निकालकर, उसका क्वाथ बनाकर पेशेंट को एक ग्लास दैट इज 200 to 250 ml पेशेंट को दिया जाता है. And मृदु विरेचन है तो 5 to 6 weeks will definitely help him out. Apart from it, Trivrit Lehe, that is important, or we can use again the Trifla Churan, or simply the milk with the Erand Tel. Erand Tel is again a wonder drug in the Ayurveda point of view. And to give it with the milk, it is solving, it becomes the 3 dosha shamak. Otherwise, the Erand having the property of the Vatkaf shamak, but when we give it with the milk, it becomes the 3 dosha shamak. That is why the Pitta Rechak is also important. If we talk about the cough, okay, and we need to take care of the cough as well, because there are the conditions of hyperlipidemia, atherosclerosis associated with this hypertension. But mainly focus on the Medohar kind of the drugs. And the best Medohar drugs we have is a Google. Google is the best anti-hyperlipidemic drug. So what kind of the Google we can give? The best one is the Navak Google. Navak Google we have Trikatu, Trifla, Trimat. That actually is the best for if we are focusing on the obesity. And we have to focus on the kidneys as well, because excretion and the pressure on the kidneys exponentially increases in this kind of the diseases. The Gokshur Google is again important drug that we can use here. Again, to reduce the cough, like Trikatu, Trifla, Lashunadivati, garlic, Methika, these are some important and the common measurements people usually take at home, but these can be advised. Next important thing we can add on to our treatment are the Medhya Rasayans. Medhya Rasayan, why I'm saying this? Because hypertension may not be stress related, but it becomes stress after a person diagnosed with the hypertension. That become more stressing when person used to think that I have a hypertension, now what I should do. That is a stress kind of condition, and for this we have some wonder drugs like Sarpagandhavati, Brahmi, Ashwagandha, Shankhapushpi. These kind of the drugs we can use here. Then important example, the Bhasam. These have the multifactorial effect on this hypertension, like Shankh, Shukti, Kapardika, and the Prabal Pisti especially. What they are doing actually? First, they have the Sheetavira property. So they are ultimately Pitt and the Rakta Shamak. Okay. Next, what they're doing, they're providing the calcium and some important selenium, zinc to the body, which is actually important. So these are working as a supplements also, and again the Pitt and the Kaf Shamak and Aam ka bhi ye shaman karte hain. Now there are some common single medicines which we used in treating the hypertension. And when we are using these common single medicines, when the patient is pre-hypertensive and is as in the stage 1 hypertension, we again are focusing on the diet and the lifestyle modification, but we can add any of this single medicine with that. That will definitely help. So what are the common single medicine? I am highlighting here the Arjun Kshir Pak. Arjun is the best cardiotonic drug and is widely used. Okay, but Arjun को किस रूप में देना है? The best formulation is the Kshir Pak. It is tell in the Samhitas that Arjun to be given in the Kshir Pak. How to make that Kshir Pak? First, we have to decide the dose of the Arjun. Like in the pre-hypertensive condition, we can start with the 8 to 10 or 5 to 8 gram of the Arjun. Or in the stage 1 kind of the hypertension, we will give the 12 to 15 gram of the Arjun Twak. We are giving the Arjun Twak. Then we have to add the 4 times of the Kshir into this, and to that we have to add 4 times water into the Kshir. The ratio is 1 is to 4 is to 4. 1 is the Arjun Twak Churan, 4 ratio is for the Kshir, and 4 is for the Jal. We have to boil it unless only the milk is left. When the milk only left, then that is the actually way to make this Arjun Kshir Pak that we can take in this like way. Next important drug, single drug, is a Sarpagandha Churan. It has again a very sedative effect and the relaxing effect. Ashwagandha Churan again nowadays is very common, famous for immunity purpose as well as for other reasons also. Jatamansi Churan, Arjun Twak Churan, as I told earlier. If not Arjun Kshir Pak, you can singly give the Arjun Twak Churan, but the best to give is the Arjun Kshir Pak. Rason Kshir Pak. Likewise, we don't have Arjun at home, but we can make the Lashun, that is we have garlic. उसका क्षीर पाक भी हम उसी तरीके से बना सकते हैं. Again, a lashun daily we can give. But then there are certain compound medicines that we are generally using are important. We can add on to our treatment like Sarpagandha Ghanvati, Brahmi Churan, Prabhakar Vati, Arjunarist, Praval Pisti, Shwet Parpati, Nagarjun Abhraras, Hridyarnavras, Mukta Pisti, Akik Pisti. These all have the various functions. In the best thing about the Ayurvedic drugs is that they not only have the function on the hypertension, but they have the good effects apart from the side effects. Next, the last is the Hriday Mahakshay. You know, we usually skip that Mahakshay. Why? Because we generally focus on the Chikitsa Sthan and we look for the Chikitsa Sthan, like here and there, what are the treatments, but way before the Chikitsa Sthan, in Sutra Sthan, in a very earlier chapters, there are 50 kind of the Mahakshay being told by the Acharya Charak. And Amra Amratav Lakch, Karmard Vrikshamla Amlavetas, Kuval Badar Dadi Matulung. See, these are the 10 wonder drugs for the heart. They actually regulate the heart. What they have, in researches it is being found that they have a rich amount of the vitamin C. And vitamin C, what they do, it reduces the oxidative stress in the body, remove the free radicals, and increase the immunity and increase the normal functioning of the heart. So any of this, or as a whole, we can use them by making the kwath of all these. So this will definitely help. So this was as a whole was my treatment plan for this hypertension. The mainstay should be definitely on the diet, on the lifestyle modifications like weight reduction, physical activity, and low salt intake, low alcohol. And stage wise, we can add our anti-hypertensive drugs. Like I said, like Panchkaram is important, is playing the important role in this. After Shodhan, we can come to the Shaman Chikitsa in the single form or in the compound form. So that is why we can manage the hypertension according to Ayurveda. Thank you so much for listening this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charu. It was very elaborated presentation. So it was very helpful also to understand the background and how to go with Ayurvedic treatment step by step. So thank you so much. So we have some questions. So I would like to take some questions. So one is, like you have talked about assessing the Prakriti. So one of the participants is asking if there is any chart to assess the Prakriti.
Okay, I can do one thing. I can share a Prakriti chart I have personally that I'm using with you, that you can send to all the participants.
Yeah, definitely. I will do that. That would be really helpful. Thank you. One more question is, how can Vayu vitiation can be controlled?
Pardon?
How can Vayu vitiation, like you told about कि Vayu imbalance हो जाती है, तो how can we control that in hypertension?
See, as I told that Vayu vitiation, what Vayu do in the body, Vayu actually circulates all over the body. Whatever the essential nutrients we are getting is because of the Vayu. But that Vayu, when aggravated, like I said, Vyan Vayu is actually aggressive in this hypertension. We need to take care of it. So Vata Anuloman type of the treatment, that is actually important. As I tell, Haritki is essential, or any kind of the Vata drugs we can give, but especially Haritki I'm saying because there are certain other Vata drugs also like Hingvastak Churan, but there is a Lavan in it we cannot use. So in my practice I do Haritki Churan or Abhyadi Modak you can also give. So by this, or just by simply taking the lukewarm water, it will also, it's also a great Vat Anuloman thing that we can do.
Okay. Yeah. There's one last question. So someone is want to know the amount of lasan in Sheer Park.
Okay. Initially